Use it barely tap them. Use it barely tap it. You just barely tap it. Red is on. I mean, you just barely touch it.
Yes.
If I may have your attention, I would like to call the meeting to order.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I think I'm on.
It's not.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. I don't think.
They're not.
How about yours? Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Are you not close enough?
Right. Testing. You can. If I may have your attention, please. We will call the September 24th, 2015 meeting of the Board of Trustees of Tarrant County College District to order. Are there any public comments, Mr. Gates? Going to take a little privilege of rule here and ask Ms. Robinson to make a report.
We have a letter from SACS dated September 10th, and it reads in part, the Board of Trustees of the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges reviewed the materials seeking approval of the TCC Connect off-campus instructional site. It was the decision of the board to approve the site and include it in the scope of the current accreditation. So we now have a 6th campus.
Absolutely awesome. I think that deserves a standing ovation.
Does that mean we can pay Carlos now? You get a paycheck.
Look who's back. She thinks there's a big fat check behind this thing. Okay, come here.
Okay.
Excuse our backs, but she has to stand here while I read this whole thing. Resolution of appreciation. Whereas Dr. Tahita M. Fulkerson has retired after 6 years of exemplary leadership as founding president of Tarrant County College Trinity River Campus. And whereas Dr. Fulkerson's career at TCC spanned 42 years, during which she served as adjunct and full-time faculty member, department chair, divisional dean, campus vice president, and dean of instruction and accreditation services, in addition to her Trinity River campus presidency. And whereas Dr. Fulkerson treasured, above all else in her TCC career, her work with students, and was honored in 1990 with the South Campus Chancellor's Award for exemplary teaching. And whereas Dr. Fulkerson was similarly honored for excellence in teaching and leadership by the Phi Kappa Theta Honor Society, University of North Texas, Southwest Regional Conference of Teachers of English in the two-year college, and the Texas Association of Community Colleges. And whereas Dr. Fulkerson in both 1993 and 2003 played key roles in the reaccreditation of the Tarrant County College District by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. And whereas Dr. Fulkerson, during the year before the Trinity River campus opened, served as liaison between the educational programs that would be housed at the campus and the architects and engineers who would design it. And whereas Dr. Fulkerson ensured that the Trinity River campus was firmly grounded in hallmarks of excellence, of which first and foremost is an unshakable focus on student learning. Now therefore, be it resolved that the members of the Board of Trustees of the Tarrant County College District meeting in regular session this 24th day of September 2015 in Fort Worth, Texas, do express their individual and collective gratitude and respect for Dr. Tahita Fulkerson. And be it further resolved that as a token of this gratitude and respect, it is hereby enacted by the Board of Trustees that the Trinity River Campus Library shall henceforth be known as the Tahita M. Fulkerson Library, and that this action shall be entered into the permanent records of the college as evidence of the sincere appreciation accorded by the board, administration, faculty, staff, and students of Tarrant County College to Dr. Tahita M. Fulkerson. In witness thereof, we do set our hands, Louise Appleman, President, and O.K. Carter, Secretary.
Thank you. Thank you. That's wonderful. I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, this is beautiful, and you won't know how much I paid Bill Lace to write it for us. But it is an extraordinary compliment to the students of TCC and to the mission of TCC and to the work that all of us do to be certain that students grow with us and leave us happier and better than they were when they came. Well, better not morally, but better educationally.
Y'all stand and get you maybe gather or come up front. Yeah, I think that. Dr. Joy Gates Black will present Student Access and Success and Administrative Programs and Projects. Dr. Black, Global Initiatives, AKA Global Initiatives.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Appleman. Members of the board, in 2009, Tarrant County College began offering global learning opportunities. Since that time, students, faculty, and staff from across the college have taken advantage of the opportunity to have a global learning experience. These learning experiences have provided participants with a greater understanding of the world in which they live, learn, serve, and work. It has also fostered a greater understanding of the diverse people, countries, and cultures that make up our world. Tonight, Dr. Cheryl Harris, Executive Director of Program Development and International Initiatives, is here to provide you with an update on the status of the college's efforts regarding international initiatives, global learning, and global citizenship. Dr. Harris?
Good evening, Mrs. Appleman, Vice Chancellor Robinson, and board. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk about what we're doing in international and global initiatives. I would be remiss, though, if I didn't introduce a group of people that helped us make things happen, sustain it, and as you hear what we're doing, fuel the fire to keep us going. Some of our students that traveled with us to Salzburg, Austria, and you'll hear more from them in the video, and then afterwards we'll let them introduce themselves. Ms. Shawanda Riley, where'd she go? Okay, at the end, they're always the mother guiding her students along, has been extremely instrumental in making sure that our students have been engaged in Salzburg, presenting conferences throughout the summer, another one in a couple of weeks that you'll hear about, and so we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to her. Mr. Isaac Rivera, who is Assistant Director and also shepherds international initiatives a great deal. So thank you for indulging us. We've done a lot, and we're excited, as always, in international initiatives. And first, it's important that we talk about global citizenship, and you'll understand why in just a few moments. But what is a global citizen? What is global citizenship? It's someone who identifies with being part of an emerging world community. Notice we did say community. And whose actions contribute to building this community's values and practices. We didn't say international citizenship, but global. We'll come back to that thought in just a moment. So why global citizenship? Well, it contributes to the building of a global workforce, which is one of the primary missions of our college. It also engages students and improves student learning outcomes, and you'll see in just a few moments what we mean. It also serves to help increase student retention and overall student academic success. I'd like for you to listen for a moment to the voices of our students. A couple of them are actually here tonight, but after each session, when we go to Salzburg, we debrief with the students and they each get to tell us what they gained from the experience, and we videotape. So we wanted you to hear what they had to say.
I had never traveled internationally before this. You know, one of the first things that struck me whenever I got there was it was the first time I'd been in a situation where chatter was going on all around me and I had no idea what anyone was saying. And so that sort of changed my life from that point on. Was I've been kind of self-centered. You know, I've just lived my own life in this culture and not really thought that I've needed to look outside. And this conference has really changed that. I realize now, you know, I'm part of a bigger picture, and one person can change another person, can change a community, can change a world.
Like, by learning what global citizenship means, I learned that I can be both Colombian and American. I don't have to, like, waste my time and try to fit into a society when I can instead be learning about other cultures and, like, be aware of what's going on around the world.
I often judge other people based on their actions, whereas I judge myself based on the intention of my actions. And I feel that going to this seminar was a great way to take that big step back and realize that I can't be held captive of what my reactions are. I have to take responsibility for them, and I have to make a change, and I have to do something different, and I have to open up, and I have to help other people open up in any way that I can.
This trip really, like, impacted me, like, personal growth and emotionally, and I guess I want to thank TCC for being a part of this seminar, because I also was able to talk to Augie, which is one of the founders, and he was just sharing with me how, you know, it was a good opportunity for students of university to experience this, but they didn't have a program implemented in the community college, and so for TCC to be a part of it and allow us to experience this globally, I mean, that's, you know, chance of a lifetime. So thank you, TCC.
To hear some of those stories, we of course edited it, but some of the backstories are just amazing. I don't think we had a dry eye in the room as we went through about their experiences there. But this is what brings it home to reality for us here as a college. What we've done is compare our overall success rate, and we compared that to the students that have been to Salzburg. And please keep in mind that we don't choose the best of the best and only Phi Theta Kappa students. Our Chancellor asked that we include the diversity of our college. That means that we had students that were in the Chancellor's Emerging Leaders that are in developmental education, working on college readiness. We had men of color. We had empowering links. We had older students, younger students. Race and ethnicity represented our college. And this is what came out. For the numbers that, even though the numbers are small, but look how they've done. Retained or completed at greater than 90%. It's amazing. But what you heard the students say is it changed my life. It opened my eyes. It engaged me. And so we feel that it's important for us to continue global citizenship, not just internationally, but here also. And we're going to talk about what we're doing. We started with a plan in 2011 to institutionalize global citizenship, not international. One of our students last year said, well, we're not saying it's international initiatives because you have to transcend the borders of the U.S. to be international. But to be a global citizen, you can be right here at home. And it's what's happening in Dallas. It's what's happening next door to you. One of our students said that. It's amazing. So we start as we go around the circle when we develop that. It's engagement with the Board of Trustees and your support. And we're so appreciative of that as we continue to build out. At the core is global citizenship. And we added to that our student study abroad and exchange, which we're doing, our faculty and staff professional development, study abroad and exchange, in-course infusion. We've sent over 100 students, but we have 50,000 here. So how do we get the message to every one of those students that's here that has never been outside of Fort Worth or Arlington or Hurst, wherever their campus may be? It has to happen in their classroom. And so we started by building goals and objectives for every course. We made it optional for faculty, and the faculty have been buying into it. Really excited to introduce those concepts in their classes. Also co-curricular activities, international festivals, tying activities to what's happening in the classroom that bring an international perspective, or Amnesty International, human rights, humankind. There are everyday lessons happening. Look at what's happening in Syria and impacting the rest of the world. Those are the kinds of things that the faculty members are bringing into the classroom. Then last but not least, it's the nature of diversity of our college. For our students to learn from the international students that sit in their classroom, from students that are diverse, and making that a part of the learning experience. And we're not in it alone. We have partners. Fort Worth Sister Cities is a great partner. And my first charge was see if we could set something up in the cities that Sister Cities goes to, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But the Fort Worth and Arlington Chambers are also great partners. Mr. McClendon and I were at a meeting just recently, and the Fort Worth Chamber always says, TCC is our training partner. And so they definitely are partners as we build out global citizenship. In 2012, some of you will remember this, we hosted the VELT Chinese delegation. And you can see a couple of pictures there, board members. And our initial efforts were to build out opportunities in China, Japan, and Italy, which we have sister cities there. And so we actually visited and set up exchange and study abroad programs in those countries, Guiyang, China, Nagaoka, Osaka, Japan, Italy, Reggio Emilia, and have had students going there to those places. In 2013, the Salzburg Global Seminars were re-engaged. We were on hiatus for a while, for about 4 years, and then we sent 10 students to Salzburg. We also sent 10 faculty and staff members that same year for professional development to Salzburg. We also worked on setting up an study abroad and international opportunity in Budapest, another Fort Worth sister city, and we have excellent universities there for engineering and some other programs. And we also formed an international council because what we realized is we had no structure for global citizenship, international initiatives, and so we had to set some policies and procedures and so forth, and that's what we did. We also held our very first annual conference, the Schloss Revisited, and we sent out the invitation to everybody that had been to Salzburg before, and it was great. We had a room full of people. We also developed those policies and procedures that I just mentioned for international travel to lay the foundation. In 2014, we doubled the efforts and sent 20 students to Salzburg. And we sent 20 faculty and staff members to Salzburg for professional development. And there was a purpose in us sending that many there. One of the things that the Chancellor asked for, she sent a charge out and said, I'd like for global citizenship to be built throughout the entire college district. If you have a cohort of faculty, staff, and students that are trained, that understand global citizenship, can you use that as the base? And we said, yes, ma'am, we absolutely can, and that's what we've set about doing. Also, when we're in Salzburg, we take that opportunity to build out other study abroad and exchange opportunities. So we did so that year in Germany, Austria, the Czech Republic, and in France. We also held our second annual global conference, A Pragmatic Approach to Institutionalizing Global Citizenship, and we had over 80 participants. In 2015, just this past May, we sent 20 more students and 20 more faculty and staff. And while we were there, we continued the work of institutionalizing global citizenship, and we added additional opportunities for travel abroad in Spain with excellent opportunities for our students. They pay our tuition and get to go there. Is that not amazing? I think it's wonderful for our students in Spanish. We also have our third conference coming up next week, October the 2nd, and we already have over 100 participants, and it's both internal and external at this point, and we have an invitation for each of you to register for the conference also, with some excellent speakers from across the country, and our keynote speaker is from India. And these are people that have volunteered to come to present with us, so we're excited. These are all the cities that we currently have study abroad opportunities now in place. So we've done this so far, so how do we continue to move it forward? Well, we need to continue to keep it in our visioning statement. It's in Vision 2015. And so as we move forward in our visioning, global citizenship or the global perspective would be a foundational part of that. And also in the college's role and scope and our institutional student learning outcomes to be a good global citizen and to understand what that means. We'll also continue to work on co-curricular activities, in-course infusion, and student study abroad and exchange. Those are the groups that have been. That's the staff, and it has been staff and faculty, and they have a huge thank you. And the students.
Thank you, Chancellor, for Salzburg. Danke, merci, gracias, prego, apun, arigato.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And last but not least, TCC, Success Within Reach. We're spanning the globe, literally. So we have just a couple of things that we'd like to give you, and we have, if you'd like to ask us any questions, we'd love to entertain them. And the students will introduce themselves. Who's going to pass out the handouts? Who's got the chocolate? Okay, if you'll give each one one. Thank you. And no, we can pass chocolates, or somebody can pass a chocolate. And we have wonderful Austrian chocolates for you.
Thank you.
Too. If I have just a moment, if I could ask the students to step to the mic and just tell you their name and their campus.
Hello, very nice to be here with you guys. My name is Diane Calderon, and I am from TCC Southeast.
Hi, my name is Delia Morales. First of all, I want to say thank you, and I'm from South Campus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nari Uk, and I am from the Northeast Campus. And thank you so much for allowing us to participate in the global seminar.
Hi, my name is LT Wallace. I go to the Trinity River campus, and as we learned in Austria, Dankeschön.
Hello, I'm Tanya Souther from the Northwest Campus, and thank you for this opportunity.
Hello, I'm Heather Olivia Shannon, and I go to TCC Trinity River Campus, and I'm the Vice President of Student Government Association. And I want to thank you for this lifetime of experience at Salzburg. I thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I go to the Trinity River campus, and I would like to thank you for this experience. Thanks.
And I also must say thank you, because I've seen their lives changed, and it's because of your support. So thank you. Sure. Picture?
Yeah.
Which one do we press for?
When it's red, it's on, so it's kind of odd, yeah. Y'all, when your mics are red, they're on. It's backwards.
Which one?
Have you found the magic button?
Oh, I see.
Let me see.
I look like a student.
Thank you. Thank, thank all of you for coming. I don't know if the students know, Dr. Harris certainly does, but she made all the arrangements. But last year, Nan McRaven, who is now Dr. Nan McRaven, and she sends her best regards, used our international student program as the basis for her dissertation to achieve her PhD. So that was a subtle but very, very high honor for our campuses to be chosen, and Dr. Harris had a little extra added to her workload as she made the arrangements for interviews and so on and so forth. But I did see Dr. McRaven over the weekend, and she wants to come back and report to you, but perhaps to all of us, about our part in her dissertation.
We'd love to hear it, to read it, to see what she had to say about us.
Yeah, that's great. I told her, bring it on.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
I just have a question for anyone who'd like to answer. Since you've been back from your trip, when you share with your friends and other students, does that motivate them to go, or are they interested?
Could you repeat that one more time?
I'm just wondering, when you have come back since your travels, when you talk to your friends and other students, do they seem interested to do the same thing or intrigued by what you learned?
Yes, very much. My Spanish teacher is very much interested in what I had to say about Salzburg. And today I just told one of my classmates who is Jewish about the Holocaust events that we participated in, and he was very much interested. And I let him know more about it, and I was very happy to do that.
For me, it's not only students that are interested in it. I actually had the privilege to speak at the Faculty Welcome Back Conference at the Trinity River campus, and I spoke about my Salzburg experience, and afterwards I actually got a flood of teachers asking me, how can I do this? Where did you learn about it? You know, so definitely even teachers are absolutely engrossed in it, and especially students within my classes. So.
Certain members of the board have hinted broadly that perhaps the board should make a site visit without any.
Even before going to Salzburg, like doing my application and everything, talking to staff about reference letters and everything, and just letting them know, like, oh, this amazing program came and I'm applying for it. And then I was like, you know, staff can apply too, and so they were like really excited. But after coming back, I've shared the news with like my student organization, which is the Organization of Latin Americans, and I have showed them pictures and everything, and I have also like told them the process to get ready for next year, and so like everyone's really excited for that program to be, you know, available to travel and learn about global citizenship.
Mrs. Appleman, you mentioned if the board ever got to go. If the board members ever did have an opportunity to go with the students would be life-changing. Not just for them, it was for me too, to see those light bulbs come on.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'd like to ask another question of the students. How has this experience changed your goals for the future? Have you changed what you are planning on doing?
Yes, especially like understanding the problems going on in my country. It really like motivates me to like understand not just their perspective, but like the other country's perspective. And it like my goal now is to really like be involved in my country and actually make a difference later in the future. But like what really struck me was that even though I live here and I'm really far away from my country, I can still make a change and, you know, help someone.
You said goals, right? Okay. Wow, that's really hard. From this experience, I learned that even the smallest things that you do can affect somebody else. So even the smallest of steps that you take could actually impact the bigger picture. So it's not about jumping into like, okay, I have to go now into this nonprofit organization and head out. I have to go save the people. No, you can start here, start small. For example, telling everybody about this program. Or for example, we started a global citizenship club at my school through my job actually. And it's just, they're starting to form and starting to be more involved. For me personally, I have never been able to speak up in front of so many people. For example, I'm now like a new student orientation peer leader, and I gave a speech about Salzburg. I can never stop talking about Salzburg. It's just inspired me. I actually want to get a doctoral degree because of that experience. It's amazing. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank you for allowing the students to speak. That is very nice of you. And after Salzburg, yes, my life did change and my goals did get even stronger. I realized that global citizenship really starts with peace and kindness. You have to be kind to everyone you meet, professors, students, and such. You have to have kindness in your heart to be able to be a global citizen, because if you can't have kindness, you're not going to be able to get your point across, and no one will listen. So you have to have kindness in your heart and in your soul to be a global citizen. And I also wanted to tell you that my Spanish professor, Senora Rodriguez, Janet Rodriguez, is coming up with a program for global citizenship where you can receive a certificate. And I was talking with her today and telling her my experiences from Salzburg and just personal experiences that being in the global citizenship program changed my life. And she told me she was starting this program of global citizenship, and she wants everyone to receive a certificate after a certain amount of time, and she wants it to be a class for global citizenship. And so I'm so glad that I got to speak tonight to let you know about that, because I thought that was something very important for Trinity River Campus, to have a global citizenship class and to receive a certificate. And I would love to be in that class, and I would love to do that. And I would love to see students from multiple campuses be in a global citizenship class. And she was talking about having 2 years of a foreign language, and I've taken 3 semesters of Spanish, and I'm going to continue taking Spanish. So I'm interested, even after I move on to my next new university, UT Austin, to study multimedia journalism, just to go back to Trinity River campus to take that class because of that specific professor. And there's 2 specific professors. There's another one also that's in the Spanish department, and that's their program. So I just wanted to let you know that, and I thank you for your time, and I thank you for letting me come up here.
So my name is Nari again, and my goals have changed drastically. I started on this journey of an RN, basically, majoring in nursing. And since coming back, what has instilled in me was a deeper level of passion. Because I believe the only way I can complete my goals is if I have passion. And since now it's been deepened, now I have the capacity to care. Because if I don't care about my goals and dreams, I won't have as much passion to actually execute them. And so now I'm actually deciding to move forward in the medical field and actually become a physician assistant. And our keynote speaker, Sant Juana, she's been participating in non-government organizations. And so I hope to also be a part of an NGO later in the future, and hopefully go back to Southeast Asia, in the country of Cambodia, where I'm originally from, and hopefully practice medicine abroad and to help those underserved.
Thank you so much again for joining us, and you're welcome to stay, or you are excused if you prefer. Thank you very much. We look forward to watching great things in your future.
And and given the chance, I'll vote for another Salzburg trip, even if the board can't go.
Thank you, Dr. Harris and Dr. Black. Moving on to item number 5 on the agenda, I would ask a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of August 24th, 2015.
Move for approval.
Mr.
Second.
Carter, seconded by Dr. Morrison. Any discussion, comments, additions, corrections? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? You received the catalog of continuing education courses and prices, and I would ask that the consent agenda, that's the only item. If there are no objections, we will approve the consent agenda, thereby approving the course catalog for continuing education. Motion to approve? Mr. Carter, seconded by Mr. Heed. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Committee reports. Starting, I'm going to change the order a little bit. The Governance Committee met, some of us remotely, but we managed to plan out the agenda. The Institutional Planning Committee, a report from Ms. Vandergriff.
I actually really don't have a report because we're going to continue our discussion in our meeting really at the board retreat. We did meet on September 8th, and so really we're in the process of developing, let's just say, another process to oversee all these great initiatives and construction projects coming forward. So stay tuned.
Thankfully, Ms. Vandergriff is in charge of that committee. She's doing a great job, and they are too, and they're being very careful as they move forward. And finally, Mr. Carter, the Audit Finance.
Yes, Madam President, the Audit Committee has met twice since the last board meeting. One of those meetings was with Linda Patterson, who has been working with us as a consultant on our financial investment policy. At the last meeting, we had a couple of reports. One of them was a completed audit of requisition systems. As you might expect, we spend millions of dollars for such requisitions, and there are requirements for certain levels of authority for certain levels of funding. Basically, I think that we found we're in compliance. Most of the time, we found about a little bit more than $200,000 in 4 items that were not in compliance. Primarily, this was because the person with authority wasn't actually on board. You know, we had a couple of changes in personnel, so we've actually changed basically the bookkeeping system so it's computerized, so that really can't happen again. By the way, all those purchases were things we would have purchased anyway. Just the procedure wasn't quite correct. And then we had completed a very lengthy audit of our IT systems. Basically, the audit was aimed at how well we take care of the security of the systems. Just about the time that we've wrapped up the audit, the state decided that because of a conflict in state laws, that community colleges were no longer required to follow these particular standards. But they had the standards there anyway, so we looked at them in the terms of best practices. We made a number of recommendations in terms of security of the system, and we basically need one motion now to take care of some required instruction for our IT people. And I can give you that motion now. Then I have one more. Let's go ahead and do that one. It's resolved in accordance with Section V of the Tarrant County College District Investment Policy. The following, I'm sorry, this is let me get back, wrong one. Finally, we have looked at the investment policy itself. Ms. Patterson has met with us on the phone. She's met with us in person. The investment policy, as you know, allows us to make certain levels of investment. It depends on the quality of the investment, and we also are limited in the percentages of our funds that we can do, that we can invest in those sort of things. And she's tweaked the policy quite some considerably. The net result of which is that in today's market, it doesn't make a lot of difference. In fact, we asked her if we did all these things perfectly, if we would be able to come up to even equal inflation, and her opinion was no. So, and you saw what happened with the Fed this week, which was that they basically decided not to raise interest rates further. We did decide that basically, if we ever do get to the point where we can do 2 or 3%, then it might pay us to look at hiring a firm to handle that for us, because they would have all the requisite software that tells them when to buy, when to sell, those kind of things now. But it really, the cost of that now would probably actually lower our revenues. So any questions on that? So you've taken care of your fiduciary responsibility now, but we do require some training. And now, can I read this? Ready? Any questions? Here it is. Resolved that in accordance with Section B of the Tarrant County College District Investment Policy, the following training sponsors are approved to provide investment training of investment officers: the Texas Higher Education Coordination Board, the Government Finance Officers Association, National in Texas, the Government Treasurers Organization of Texas, the Texas Municipal League, the Government Investment Officers Association, and the University of North Texas Center for Public Management. Yes.
So it does not require a second. Is there any discussion, questions? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Any questions on the audit things? No? All right, thank you.
You wanted to bring that up. Mr. Carter, back to the investment policy. Are we going to?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Mr. McClendon will, in a few minutes, will bring that investment policy to you for your approval. Like I say, it's basically amended. It slightly expands the parameters of investments that we can make. The one change for now is that we've decided that the foundation needs to be given a little bit more time to review its component of it, and that probably will be returned to us next month. So that's that.
Mr. McClendon, why don't you approach the podium and do that as part of the Investment Audit Committee report?
Well, good evening, Mrs. Appleman, Mrs. Robinson, trustees. It's always a great privilege to be with you. In front of you, you have an investment policy that has been reviewed with Ms. Patterson. We've also had the Investment and Finance Committee to look through it, and we've all looked through it, and we think it's a document that we are recommending to the board and to trustees to approve that. And I think that's one of the Section A would be a section that, as these policies are integrated also with the foundation, that's something that both groups will look at it conjointly, and we'll put that together so that everybody can look at that dual responsibility that we have there. So we're looking for a motion for the board to approve this investment policy as reviewed. Yeah.
Yes. Second.
All right, the motion from committee is to approve the investment policy as reviewed and endorsed by the committee. Are there any questions? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Yes, Mr. Heed, and we, again, because it came from committee, and he's on that committee. Dr. Morrison.
More good news about the 50th anniversary celebration. And again, I cannot say thank you enough to all of our various staff who have helped to make this a continuing success. And I wanted to share with you an article from the Community College Weekly. There were two things in there. You can see we got, this is national news, a picture of our Chancellor with the mayor at our celebration on the Trinity on August 1st. That's okay. Wanted to bring that to your attention under honors and awards, which is a listing of colleges receiving institutional and individual honors and awards. And even more exciting than that is that TCC is ranked number 3 in top 100 colleges awarding associate degrees in all disciplines this year. So that deserves another round of applause. Thank you all.
And thank you and your committee for all the fun things we've done so far this year. Well-deserved applause. We are now getting ready to spend a lot of money, and just if you're new to this room and to our process, please know that these items have been before the board for a number of days, and while we may move quickly, we have had an opportunity to consider the recommendations we're about to hear, starting with Ms. Petty, consideration and approval of a 3-year contract with Tradesmen International, LLC for professional employer services not to exceed $4 million, 500,000.
And that's for the 3 years. So we're not spending that all this year, and this is my only item this evening. So any questions? And again, there's a lot of information in the summary and in that big, huge contract that you probably took a look at. So
Comments, questions? Motion to approve? Mr. Carter, seconded by Ms. Ayala. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Marshall. Item number 12, consideration and approval of purchase of Adobe Enterprise license for Creative Cloud software in the amount of $326,830.
Thank you. This is an academic piece of software. If you've ever heard of Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator, this is that software for the entire use of the district, and also allows our faculty and staff to purchase it at a very steep discount. Excuse me.
Motion to approve. Mr. Heed, second. Second. Ms. Vandergriff, questions, discussion? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 13, consideration and approval of annual renewal of Blackboard modules, licensing and hosting fees in the amount of $504,688.01.
Yeah, it's that 1 cent that gets us every year. This is our instructional learning management system that's used in not only our online classes, which it's the bedrock of our online classes, but also supplies all of our face-to-face classes with what we call a course shell that holds discussion groups and areas for students to upload files and things of that nature.
Motion to approve. Mr. Heed, second. Second. Ms. Vandergriff, any questions, discussion? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 14, consideration and approval of annual renewal of Ellucian administrative software in the amount of $568,891.45. Mr. Marshall.
This is our colleague software, which manages our payroll, our HR, our finance, our general ledger, our budgeting, and also our student information system. So that's where their student records are kept, their record of payments, their grades, their transcripts.
Motion to approve. Mr. Heed, seconded. Mr. Carter, questions, discussion? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 15, consideration and approval of annual subscription renewal of Alma software from Libris in the amount of $119,110.07. Mr. Marshall.
This is our library software. It allows us to catalog and track all the items that we keep in our library. It also allows us to connect to all the other public libraries, the public college and university libraries inside the state of Texas.
Hence the name, Ex Libris. Motion to approve. Ms. Ayala, second. Dr. Morrison, discussion, questions? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Item number 16, consideration and approval of purchase of Cisco SMARTNet service contract from Flair Data Systems in the amount of $191,125.82. Mr. Marshall.
The Cisco equipment is the electronics that run our network, so everything in our closets that connects us to each other and to the internet. And this is the hardware maintenance contract that we have that allows us to engage Cisco experts when things go bump in the night.
I want that phone number.
Yeah.
Motion to approve. Dr. Morrison, seconded by Mr. Carter. Questions, discussion? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Marshall, item number 17, consideration and approval of renewal of online tutoring services, SMARTTHINKING with NCS Pearson in the amount of $150,000.
This is our 24/7 tutoring service for students that can not make it either to the campus or they're already taking online courses, and this allows them to engage a tutor anytime, anywhere, as long as they're connected to the internet.
Motion to approve. Mr. Heed, seconded by Ms. Ayala. Questions, discussion? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 18, consideration and approval of purchase of Oracle database application software in the amount of $708,476. Mr. Marshall.
This is the combination of all of our Oracle products. It's a little bit larger this year because we're actually co-terminating a number of other products that we used to have different staggered Oracle pricing. So if you look at it this year and it looks larger than last year, we haven't actually added any new software. We're just co-terminating the contracts. And Oracle is what runs the databases underneath Colleague. It also is our data warehouse. So when you see a report from institutional research, it was using Oracle tools to gather that information from not only Colleague but all of our other systems.
Motion to approve. Dr. Morrison, seconded. Mr. Heed. Questions? Ms. Ayala.
Mr. Marshall, could you just elaborate a little bit on, pricing-wise, if we were to go out and buy this out in the regular market, if you were to go out and purchase this out in the market, what the difference that we're getting on the savings here?
Oracle is an industry standard with regards to database software for large organizations, what they call enterprise organizations. So banks, Chase Bank, American Bank, maybe even HP uses Oracle. Oracle, the price of the software for our size of an organization would typically run us about $12 million. So what Oracle does is they make a big deal about discounting heavily their software for academic environments. So this is, whatever 708,000 is out of 12 million. You can see the significant discounts. It's still a lot of money. It's our largest purchase of software, but what we're getting for it, I think we had a discussion on the phone the other day, is rather cheap. What if you're used to buying Oracle for corporations? So 708,000 still isn't cheap, but it's relatively inexpensive when you compare what we would have to pay if we were even just a regular nonprofit or a going concern.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall.
Other questions, discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 19, consideration and approval of purchase of additional contacts from Ellucian for central help desk services in the amount of $407,734. Mr. Marshall?
This is the popularity of our 24/7 help desk coming to get us. We originally projected 50,000 calls, and we are on pace to hit 85,000 calls for this year. So this is the additional 35,000 contacts that will take us through, I think, April of next year. So we're taking a look at how we handle password resets, because that seems to be the majority of the calls that we get. So we're going to eventually ask students, faculty, and staff to reset their own passwords like they do for Amazon or eBay or any other environment out there. Right now, we allow them to call us and we'll reset it for them, but we're going to try to change that and reduce this number.
Motion to approve. Mr. Heed, seconded. Mr. Carter. Questions? Discussion?
Not about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Are we done?
Yes, this
Okay,
is the
yeah, no, I
last
do have a
one, so catch him while you can.
No, I actually have one on another number, so.
Well, let's finish this, then we'll back up. So everyone who is in favor of item number 19, the additional contacts from Ellucian for the central help desk, please say aye. Any opposed? Don't go away.
Not going
Ms.
away.
Vandergriff isn't through with you.
Yeah, so we were racing so quickly through these. I want to go back to the online tutoring services. Just curious, has there been an increase in use? And of the 24/7 timeframe, what is our highest use and our least?
I can get you that probably after this discussion.
That's fine.
The original use almost doubled. It's still not a lot of contacts. The first year we had about 3,800 sessions. This year we had about 6,200 sessions. So you would expect having more and more students online, we would see that. So we did have a meeting with staff the other day to talk about what we can do to market this better to the students. I can get the numbers. I don't have them with me. I can get the numbers of the breakdown of when those calls occur. Yep.
Any other questions? I'm sorry if we went too fast. Mr. Carter?
No, I did want to back up to the audit committee a second if I could. I neglected to mention that the results of every audit are posted on our website, that not only are the audits posted, but the conclusions and also whatever actions that we might take. I also neglected to mention that we, because of a change in legislative requirements, we dropped one audit and we added another one on employee travel.
Employee travel?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall.
Thank you.
I was at a workforce board committee meeting this morning, so you will not take all these changes personally, and they have worked very hard all this year to get some numbers in what they call the green zone, and they finally accomplished it in the month of August, and sent it down to Austin to be told, we're not counting that anymore. So, yeah. So, okay, Mr. McClendon, your monthly financial report, please.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. All right, overall, we wanted to just let the board know that the finance team is working with external auditors, and they'll be completing their year-end audit. So some of the balances that you will see will be changing as they finish their adjusted entries through. Okay, so let's look at it. If we look at our revenue, all right, state appropriations were as we anticipated. Our property taxes were a little bit lower than we had originally anticipated. Our investment return, this is mark to market. We always just highlight that 241.2% is a market adjustment in a GASB. And our total revenue is 97.4% in the month of August. So it's just a little bit lower. So, okay, so now we're going to look at our expenses, okay? And if we look at our total expenses, we can go to the next page, just all the way to the bottom. Keep going down. There we go. Okay, all right. Overall expenses at this time are 93%. We had a revenue at about a 97.4%. I think that this is a welcome for all our operations and all our staff. Nothing unusual that has not been reported in all the percentages. Our individual expenses sometimes will look higher than 100%, and that's because they're prepaid or for more than one period, or they extend more than beyond a fiscal period. All right? And so now we're going to look at the investments. Okay, and the investments actually will reflect some of the changes that they have asked us to consider. So the first thing, if we look at our investment, we have a beginning, and our pools are $92 million. We've added $8 million in collection, so that's going to take us, our pools are right now sitting on about $100 million. If we look at our short term, you will notice that we've begin with $40 million, and they went away. Okay, they're back. We're back. I didn't want you all to miss this. This is the best part. So anyway, sorry. Anyways, if you look at it, we have one that matured on 8/14. So we have an ending balance of $20 million. Okay, if we go to our U.S. agencies, securities, they remained at $100 million. So our total balance of our total portfolio is $230 million. So the yield on 13 weeks is 0.05 for the T-bill versus what the district achieved is 0.57, and the 26 T-bill average is 0.15 versus 0.57. One of the requirements that they asked us to consider is the WAM, and that is the weighted average, and that weighted average is 384 days. And the other thing, okay, that's fine. It's 384 days. And the other thing that they asked us is to look at the spread, and the spread is, as we compared it to the T-bill, we have a T-bill average of 0.25, and we have the district of 0.57. So the overspread, if we compared it to the year, would be 0.32. Any questions?
Any questions or comments?
Thank you very much.
You think we'll see an increase in the taxing income column? Or is the-
I'm sorry. Well,
Well, you seem surprised too that the tax numbers
we're not at
weren't-
100% rather than 97.
But collections are.
Well, that's going to happen, ma'am. It has to do with, there's going to be some times that there's some defaults on there, so you send it to collections, and there's going to be, then that goes through that process that you will see. And that's where, when you do that kind of process, is where you actually see the differences of what's happening in the period. And then other things will be bankruptcies and those kind of things. I think 97.2%, Mrs. Appleman,
You're pleased with that?
I would want us, I wish that we will always have that while I'm here, ma'am.
Okay, good enough. Thank you. Vice Chancellor Robinson has been handling, along with Mr. Gates, the duties of the Chancellor, and so she will report in her stead tonight. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Gates. Is he hiding back there behind Mr. and Ms. Robinson and all of their helpers and the faculty, the CELT, for your work in the last few weeks. It has been difficult, but I feel very comfortable, and I can sleep at night knowing, as I told some of you earlier, you have our backs. So you remember at the breakfast I said 3 choices: give in, give up, or give it your best. And I know that's what all of us are doing, and please know that the board is very appreciative.
And we appreciate you. Tonight we have 3 new staff member introductions, and Dr. LeBlanc's going to make those introductions.
Thank you, Mrs. Appleman, Mrs. Robinson, board members. Thank you for the opportunity to introduce members of my team. I want to begin by publicly thanking the vice presidents, the deans and directors. These may appear like they're new positions, but they are money that was already in the budget. So last year, we reallocated money to address the initiatives and the new direction that the college is taking. And what that meant is that some people had to give up some money and others gained and so on. But we take responsibility as a team for the success of our students. And with focus on our students, everyone is willing to do that. So I'm very appreciative of the hard work that they were willing to put into this and their willingness to share resources. So the first person that I would like to introduce is Dr. Michael Lucchese. He has actually been the director of the Center of Excellence for Aviation, Transportation, and Logistics since March of 2015, but we've been really busy. So this is the first chance we have to introduce him. Dr. Lucchese was a program manager for unmanned systems in the Washington, D.C. area, where he served in the cutting technology industry of conceptual ideas to manufacturing and delivery of newly developed unmanned systems. Prior to program management, Dr. Lucchese served in the U.S. Air Force as the Air Force's career field manager for aircraft and armament systems. He was the direct lead to the director of logistics and chaired the Aviation and Munitions Training Board and the Maintenance Chief Advisory Board. He assisted in corporate-level strategic planning, policy development, and key spokesperson for contingency operations involving maintenance and logistic matters. He served 30 years in the military, decorated and combat veteran of Desert Storm, Vigilant Warrior, Operational Iraqi Freedom, and the Afghanistan campaign. Dr. Lucchese earned his doctorate in organizational management, master's in logistics, and bachelor's in human resource management. He holds a master instructor certification as well as life cycle logistics and program management certification. He is currently involved in supporting the Fort Worth Boys and Girls Club of America when he's not working the 60-hour weeks that he puts in at Seattle. Please help me welcome Dr. Michael Lucchese.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to be representative of TCC. I look forward to the exciting challenges that have been laid before me, but I'm here to take those challenges on.
Welcome you, and best wishes.
Our next team member is Randall Peterson. He is currently the director of Criminal Justice Training Center. He was a police officer for 21 years in Illinois, retiring as a watch commander of the Patrol Division. Randall was also an instructor at the Suburban Law Enforcement Academy in Illinois for 7 years, where he developed a passion for instructing. Randall holds a Bachelor of Science in Legal Studies and a Master of Science in Justice Administration and Crime Management. He is also a graduate of Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command. Randall's position as director of the Criminal Justice Training Center at TCC has allowed him to continue a long dedication to the profession of law enforcement for ensuring the best possible training to those entering the field and those already working in it. Please help me welcome Randall Peterson.
Hi, I'd like to thank the board for having me here tonight. Let you know that it is an honor to be able to direct the Criminal Justice Training Center. I'd also like to thank you for placing me under the leadership of Dr. LeBlanc and Dr. Jackson. Their guidance and vision has been phenomenal for me. Thank you.
We welcome you.
Next is Marisa Reyes, Director of Community and Industry Education Services. She has actually served Tarrant County College for 21 years, with her most recent position as the coordinator of special projects for the Office of Community and Industry Education Services. In her role, she initiated and implemented several programs, including Society for Human Resource Management, Stepping Stones, Retail Florist, Water and Wastewater Treatment, Wedding and Event Planning. As a member of the Texas American Water Works Association Education and Workforce Divisions, Marisa has teamed up with members to implement water education outreach, focusing on grade levels K through 12. She is also a member of the Learning Resource Network, National Council for Continuing Education and Training, Society for Human Resource Management, Texas Administrators of Continuing Education, Water Environment Association of Texas, Water Environment Federation, and Texas Alpha Nu chapter of Alpha Chi National Honor Society. Marisa holds a Master of Arts in Professional Development and a Bachelor of Applied Business Administration degrees. Please help me welcome Marisa Reyes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to meet the board and giving me an opportunity to speak. I'm very excited for the opportunity. I am a former TCJC graduate, so I'm just very grateful and thankful to give back to TCC, and also very appreciative of Dr. LeBlanc's and Dr. Jackson's leadership. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I do want to point out that these awesome individuals actually work for Dr. Eric Jackson, who's a wonderful leader. So
They're in a
thank
good
you.
place with him and you and the rest of your faculty.
Thank you. We have several campus accolades, but I'm going to take 2 or 3 from each campus. First, South Campus. We have a TCC student success story on South Campus. Congratulations to Jonathan Perez, who completed his Master's of Education degree at Abilene Christian University. Jonathan began his educational journey in 2005 here at TCC when he signed up to take his GED exam after dropping out of high school in 2001. After 3 years at TCC, Jonathan transferred to the University of North Texas, where he completed a Bachelor's of Applied Arts and Science in 2011, making him the first in his family to graduate with a 4-year degree. In 2012, Jonathan joined TCC South, where he served as an academic advisor. The second accolade for South Campus is Nelda Shelton, Chair of Business, Computer Science, and Information Technology, has been invited to serve on the Better Business Bureau's Board of Directors for Consumer Education Foundation, the CEF. This organization was established to further the charitable and educational purposes of the BBB. The CEF provides educational programs that advance the board's charitable purposes, supports the BBB in its efforts to inform consumers, and encourages accountability and best practices in charitable giving. One of the board's important activities is to offer scholarships to college students using resources gathered mainly through the fundraising events. And that must be a new thing at the BBB, because I used to be on the board, and it's a new thing. Mm-hmm. Next is Northwest Campus. Winter Ruzaliski won the Tracy Family Award at the historic Fort Worth Preservation is the Art of the City Awards ceremony and artist reception. It's an invitational exhibition that raises money to benefit historic Fort Worth with approximately 48 participating artists. The show will open at Gallery Night, September 12th, that's already happened, and go through October 29th. The speech faculty members held their 6th annual retreat on Tuesday, August 18th at the Center for Excellence in Aviation, Transportation, and Logistics. And the Communications Department hosted its first ever retreat on Thursday, August 20th at the Mid-Cities Whirly Ball. In addition to playing several fun matches of Whirly Ball, faculty and staff members participated in team-building activities and brainstorm strategies for achieving the TCC wildly important goals. Trinity River Campus. Thank you, Dr. Blanc. On this Trinity River Campus. On July 10th, the Texas Society of Respiratory Care awarded Associate Professor of Health Sciences John Heiser the Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of his dedication to the profession and his students. Trinity River campus student Jimmy Alphonse spent the summer at the Fund for American Studies sponsored DC internship program. Mr. Alphonse lived on the George Washington University campus. He took classes and attended lectures at George Mason University and Georgetown University. He worked at the National Immigration Forum, attended site briefings on Capitol Hill, the State Department, the World Bank, and numerous embassies. Mr. Alphonse is an alum of TRC All-Stars Leadership Program sponsored by Coordinator of Center for Academic Success, Stephanie Blakely, who will attend the University of Texas at Dallas this fall. Adjunct sociology professor Wafiq Sabir was honored as 2014-2015 Faculty of the Year for his work as an associate faculty member with the School of Security and Criminal Justice at the University of Phoenix, Dallas campus. Southeast Campus. The annual team of student activities, building services, graphics, and a host of volunteers created an award-winning float for the City of Arlington's 4th of July parade. The float represented the 50th anniversary for TCC and celebrated the 50th anniversary for the City of Arlington's 4th of July parade. The float won the parade's biggest recognition, the Mayor's Award. The Men of Color Mentoring Program, MCM, celebrated the accomplishments of its students on May 1st, 2015 with the first annual end-of-the-year awards banquet. The banquet was held on the Southeast campus with over 160 attendees, along with the TCC district administrators, mentors, mentees, and their guests were in attendance. Dr. Bill Capola, president of Southeast Campus, gave a warm welcome, along with Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Zena Jackson. The keynote speaker for the evening was Jamie Mendez, TCC Southeast and MCM alumni class of 2012. The masterminds behind the Men of Color mentoring program are Mr. Freddie Sandfer, Coordinator of Student Success, Dr. Eligio Martinez, Coordinator of Student Success, and Dr. Anthony Walker, Director of Student Success Completion. Tarrant County College, Southeast, Arlington ISD Collegiate High School held its end-of-the-year student awards ceremony on June 2nd, 2015. Dr. Bill Capola, President, Bill Capola must have written these, President of TCC Southeast Campus, gave the welcoming address. This award ceremony culminated the first year of collegiate high school. 118 students participated, and all came back. So that was a good year. Northeast Campus. The TCC Northeast Campus Paralegal Studies Program has received approval from the American Bar Association, which is the equivalent of accreditation from the bar, for both the AAS and the post-baccalaureate certificate programs. They noted that the library on the Northeast Campus for the paralegal program rivals many law schools' libraries. Carmian Bowman, Northeast Associate Professor of Art, completed a 4-part public art sculpture which was installed at the City of Denton's North Lake Park near the playground. 4 bronze frogs in various shades of green made up the sculpture that include a concrete pad in the shape of a wavy beach. The frogs are about 2 feet long and the entire work stretches about 30 feet. Denton City Park officials dedicated this piece on September 19th. And finally, Linda Milbourne, graduate from Northeast Campus Mental Health Substance Abuse Program, was recognized as one of 7 Mission Statement Scholar finalists at TCU. Academic Affairs. More than 60 campus and district leaders participated in the 4DX training held on August 6, 2015. This comprehensive approach is the adopted model being used to ensure successful execution of the college's wildly important goals, what we're calling the WIGs. And you're going to hear a lot about that over the coming year, to increase course completion and retention by 20% by 2016 for all students who are first time in college or are on academic probation. The final goal is to increase fall to fall and spring to fall retention rates for all FTIC students by 20% by 2016. Academic Affairs. House Bill 5 allows students to take TCC's developmental education courses if they fail the STAR test their junior year. This is not a mandate, but is offered to students in all of TCC's ISD partner schools. TCC's faculty train the ISD teacher to teach the course, and both have a wonderful experience in this partnership. As a result of the training done last year with TCC faculty and the ISD partner teachers, 50 high school students passed TCC's developmental education math courses. 66 high school students passed TCC's developmental reading and writing courses, and 116 students are TSI ready for TCC. Under the Community and Industry Education, Corporate Solutions and Economic Development received exciting news that TCC is selected to be featured by Walmart Foundation as a top-performing vocational acceleration for veterans and grantees in case studies. The foundation will highlight the project's successes and provide an opportunity for replicating the program's best practices in other colleges and similar projects. Enrollment and Academic Support Services. District Director of Admissions and Records, Dr. Nicole Mancone, served on the co-board's negotiated rules-making committee for Apply Texas and was appointed to the Apply Texas Advisory Committee for a 3-year term beginning fall 2010. Student Success. TCC concludes its first 5-year Title III grant in the amount of $2 million with a final evaluation scheduled for November 10th through 12th, 2015. The last assessment commended the college for its efforts and investment in continuing the work of the project. Included in the evaluator's mid-year report of April 10th, 2010 were accolades for record-keeping and documentation of the project as a whole, institutional investment in professional development, and leadership ability to continue moving the project forward amid the numerous key transitions. And one that's not up there that I wanted to bring forward was our HR department won 4 of the prestigious Brandon Hall Group HCM Excellence Awards. These awards recognize the best national and international organizations that have successful deployed programs, strategies, modalities, and processes and tools that have achieved measurable results. They received their 4 awards. They received Gold in Learning Award, Best Use of Video for Learning. They received Silver in Learning Award for Best Advance in Compliance Training. They received Silver in Learning Award for Best Use of Mobile Learning, and they received Bronze in Learning Award for Best Unique Learning and Development Program. So those are the accolades.
And there's actually more. Ms. Robinson just picked a few. It's just so impressive what is going on each of our campuses, and we are very, very proud of you.
On the recent activities, I wanted to highlight 2 things. One was a meeting that we had September 11th with Marcelo Cavazos, the superintendent for Arlington ISD. At the meeting was Dr. Coppola and Dr. Joy Gates Black and myself, and he was giving us a progress report. If you'll recall, on May 10th, 2014, Arlington voters approved a $663.1 million bond. Part of that money is going to be used for a career and technical center. And the goal of the Career and Technical Center is that every high school student that attends that will graduate with an associate degree in a technical program. Some of the programs they're going to offer there are automotive, culinary, fire academy, health science, horticulture, law enforcement. So it's going to involve not just the Southeast campus, but the entire district and all of the campuses, and all the presidents are working together to help make this happen. The building will be completed in summer of 2017, so we're looking forward to that. And finally, I wanted to let the audience and let the board know that we met as a CELT and met with the JCC on September 22nd. And at that meeting, we decided that rather than having all of our meetings here at Mayo and Center, in the future, we're going to rotate around the campuses with our CELT meetings so that we have greater visibility to all of the campuses.
Questions, comments?
I just wanted to point out, by the way, by the time Arlington School District sells this latest bond issue, they'll have bonded indebtedness of approximately $1 billion. So I wondered, what is our bonded indebtedness now, Madam President? 0. Okay, just.
Yes. We burned it. We had a burning ceremony. That's a great idea. The board actually used to travel from campus to campus meeting, and it drew interest from the faculty and area community. Then we went high tech. Now they have to watch us on the screen. Thank you so much. And again, thank you to all of you who are continuing your work and deserve all of those accolades. Board President's report, I'm going to allow Ms. Ayala some of my time. She recently represented us at a conference, a national conference that was hosted here in Tarrant County. And,
thank you very much. I want to thank Dr. LeBlanc for the invitation. I was able to attend the National Community College Hispanic Council. It was hosted by Tarrant County College here at the Sheraton Hotel the weekend of September 17th and 18th and 19th, I think. But it was very, very impressive. There were about 175 participants represented in 17 different states. And TCC has hosted the conference. I think this was our 4th time to host the conference, and they are celebrating their 20th conference. So one of the things that I found very interesting is how there is a very strong partnership with the Board of Trustees as well as with the leadership team. And so it was very interesting to hear them talk about some of the ideas that they've implemented. A couple of ideas that I noted here, in particular, that they presented and had me walking away thinking of some ideas we could probably implement here as well. But they talked about alternative pathways, and they were looking at the focus of the whole program and the symposium was, of course, on student success. And also the purpose was to highlight the principles of leadership and how working together we can help the student to succeed. But they talked about alternative pathways where there may be students that would like to pursue some fields of study in the medical field, for example, and there's difficulties with them attending labs during the day. So some schools talked about how they've implemented labs at night to work around and to make the services of the classes available to the students. Also, what I found very interesting is that for Latino families in particular, that they said that they noted through research that if they increase the education of the mother, that certainly makes an impact on the children as well. And then another thing that they loved, that really made me leave there thinking, what am I doing day to day to make this work? But they asked about what we're going to do to accelerate the Latino success in education, and not just for Latinos, but for all of our students. So I think that overall the symposium was excellent. Dr. Alan Gobin attended. I know that Dr. Carlos Morales and Dr. LeBlanc both serve on the board, so TCC is very well represented. And actually, we had 3 participants from our campus that were actually involved in the presentations. And we were very well represented, and I think all of the campuses were represented. We had somebody there from all of our campuses. So it was very, very impressive. And I heard nothing but good accolades about Dr. Morales and Dr. LeBlanc, and so I was very, very happy to be a part of it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And they did a very good job. It was excellent.
Thank you for going, and I think you're presiding over the Hispanic Council banquet, or has that already happened?
No, I
It's
am going to
coming
do
up?
that. It's coming up,
Yeah,
yes.
Good. Baptism by fire.
Yes.
She's our newest board member, and she's out there doing her thing on our behalf, and we appreciate it. The Chancellor initiated a new program this year, and it's called the Chancellor Circle. It's through the foundation. Donors at a certain level become a part of this elite group, and there was a breakfast recently where they attended, and it was a wonderful turnout. And I was able to present the State of the College presentation at that time. And Shelley, this was before I presented, so they didn't ask for it back, but I asked Shelley to make a copy to show you. We were given a nice little stipend for innovative projects, so that if we have something that comes up that isn't in the budget and we want to move it forward, this is a little bonus money to help us do that. And so I thank them on our behalf. This is a gift from the foundation, $57,500. And they didn't ask for it back after I presented, so I guess we did okay. I also, several of us, in fact, I still call y'all continuing education. I know you have a new name, but most of that staff and I were at the opening ceremonies, ribbon cutting for the Alliance Opportunity Center, and we had nice recognition there for our efforts in training employees in that part of the world. Another interesting and fun thing that I did this month, and I've asked Shelley, I wanted you to see, I was in really good company. See where the list starts, Harvard University and then Yale and da-da-da-da-da. And we were grouped according to date of founding. So Harvard was at the front. And then down into the 1960s, about 6, 7 community colleges from around the state. And we were robed and marched in Dr. Greg Fenvis's, the new UT president's inauguration procession. So that was an honor for Tarrant County College to be included. I had a very jealous husband. As you know, he's a big Longhorn, and he didn't get to march, but I did. So I was hopeful that y'all were not doing anything to embarrass us while I was away in doing this. It was a nice invitation and quite a festive occasion. And finally, I want to remind you to be on South Campus tomorrow to help Dr. Jordan cut his ribbons. I can't attend, but I know many of you plan to go and participate. We are going into closed session, and probably will not have any, excuse me, action following. So let me read for the record the items that we will be discussing. Our next board meeting is October 29th here at Mayoan, and on the 9th, the board will be having a retreat to begin our next 5-year strategic planning process. So the closed meeting will involve deliberation of real property, Section 551.072 Texas Government Code, deliberation on personnel matters, Section 551.074 Texas Government Code, and consultation with our attorney, Section 551.071 Texas Government Code. We are adjourned. Thank you for being with us. We are recessed until we come back, but you do not need to wait.